If you are watching this in 2026, you already know the feeling. It is a specific kind of silence, loud, heavy, and pervasive. It is the sensation of walking through a crowded room and feeling as though you are observing a hologram. The news cycle screams of geopolitical fractures, economic pivots, and social upheaval. Yet for a growing number of people, these events feel strangely distant. It is not that you don't care, it is that you are no longer vibrating at the same resonance as the chaos. You are standing at the edge of the uncanny valley of reality. History books will record this era as a time of great transition, but the mystics, the seers, and now even the quantum theorists know it by a different name. We have arrived at the cosmic split. For decades we were warned that a bifurcation point was coming, a moment where the singular timeline of Earth would fork into two distinct realities. We were told it would happen soon. We were told to prepare. That time is over. The preparation phase has ended. We are now in the execution phase. This is the story of what is happening to our planet, our physics, and your soul, right now. To understand the magnitude of 2026, we must first understand that this is not a modern internet trend. It is the mathematical conclusion of a cycle that has been tracked for thousands of years. In the mid-20th century, the regression hypnotherapist Dolores Cannon began stumbling upon a startling anomaly in her sessions. While under deep somnambulistic hypnosis, clients who had never met, housewives in Arkansas, engineers in London, teachers in Sydney, began reporting the exact same event. They spoke of a new Earth. They described a biological and energetic separation, where the Earth would undergo a mitosis, similar to a cell dividing. One version would remain in the heavy density of the third dimension, a 3D reality, while the other would ascend into the lighter, instantaneous reality of the fifth dimension, a 5D reality. But Cannon was not alone. The Hopi prophecy speaks of the emergence of the fifth world. The Hindu texts describe the end of the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness and materialism, and the painful birth of the Satya Yuga, the age of truth. For years these prophecies lacked a specific date. They were floating points in a distant future. But as we crossed the threshold of the mid-2000s, the cosmic tumblers clicked into place. We can now look at the cosmic clock, astrology and geophysics, to understand why this specific year is the tipping point. The reason 2026 feels unlike any year before, it is because the sky above us has fundamentally rearranged itself. We are currently living through a rare synchronization of the outer planets, the celestial bodies that govern generations, eras, and epochal shifts. After spending nearly 2 decades in Capricorn, ruling hierarchies, banking, and top-down control, Pluto has firmly settled into Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the collective, technology, and frequency. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. The effect: this is the death of the guru. The age of following leaders is over. Pluto in Aquarius demands that every individual becomes their own power source. This is why institutions are crumbling. They cannot survive in an Aquarian atmosphere. For the first time in over 160 years, Neptune is moving into Aries. Neptune rules dreams and illusions. Aries rules action and identity. The effect: the veil is being burned away. In the past, spiritual truths were hidden in mystery schools. With Neptune in Aries, spirituality becomes active, fiery, and unavoidable. But this also brings the danger of spiritual warfare, a battle for your attention and your consciousness. Uranus, the awakener, enters the fast-paced sign of Gemini, the effect. This is the acceleration of the mind. This transit is rewriting how we process information. It is the precursor to non-verbal communication and the hive mind of the higher timeline. This grand trine of energy suggests that the old world isn't just dying. It is being structurally dismantled to make way for a reality that operates on a completely different set of physical laws. If astrology is the map, physics is the terrain. The cosmic split is not just a spiritual metaphor. It is supported by observable changes in the Earth's electromagnetic environment. Science confirms that the Earth's magnetic field, the shield that protects us from solar and cosmic radiation, has been weakening, particularly around the South Atlantic anomaly. The esoteric implication: this magnetic field also acts as a memory veil, holding the collective consciousness in a stable, fixed state. As the field weakens, the veil thins. This allows higher frequencies of cosmic light, or gamma rays, to penetrate the planet's surface and, crucially, our DNA. The Schumann resonance is known as the heartbeat of the Earth, historically vibrating at a steady 7.83 Hz. In recent years, and accelerating into 2026, we have seen massive whiteout spikes where the resonance jumps to 40 Hz, 60 Hz and beyond. A frequency of 40 Hz correlates with gamma brainwaves in humans, the state of high-performance focus, lucid dreaming, and superconsciousness. The Earth is literally changing the channel. If your brain is stuck in the low beta waves of fear and survival, and the Earth moves to gamma, you will feel a profound dissonance. You will feel sick, tired, and anxious. But if you calibrate your frequency to match the Earth, you feel a sudden ecstatic flow. This is the mechanism of the split. So, what does this divergence actually look like in daily life? It is essential to understand that for now, the 3D and 5D worlds are superimposed. They occupy the same space, but they do not share the same time. In regards to the 3D timeline, or the loop of entropy, the core drivers are fear and survival. On this timeline, everything feels like a struggle. The news is a source of trauma. Narrative control is tight. Resources feel scarce. Relationships are transactional. The mental state, I am a victim of the world. The destination, this timeline is collapsing in on itself. It is a closed loop of karmic repetition. Those who cling to it will experience the next few years as a series of chaotic breakdowns. In the 5D timeline, or the spiral of syntropy, the core drivers are resonance and sovereignty. On this timeline, life feels glitchy in a benevolent way. Synchronicities happen instantly. You think of a book and you find it. You need money, and a path opens. Conflict doesn't disappear, but it is resolved through understanding rather than dominance. The mental state, I am the creator of my experience. The destination. This timeline is expanding. It is building parallel societies, new healing modalities, and communities based on connection rather than contract. Quantum mechanics speaks of decoherence, the moment when two quantum states stop interfering with each other and become separate. In 2026, we are experiencing social decoherence. You may be sitting at a dinner table with family, physically present, but energetically millions of miles apart. You cannot reach them. They cannot hear you. The bridge between the two worlds has been burned. This is painful, but it is necessary. You cannot carry the luggage of the old world into the new. If you're watching this, you're likely the wayshower, the biological interface for this new energy. Because you are bridging the gap, your body is taking the hit. These are the hallmarks of the 2026 shift. 1. The Ascension flu. Sudden, crushing exhaustion that sleep does not fix. Intense heat flashes or electrical sensations in the spine, the kundalini rising. This is your nervous system upgrading its wiring to handle higher voltage. 2. Time collapse, the 0 point. The linear sensation of Monday followed by Tuesday is dissolving. You may have memories of the past that feel like they happened to someone else. You may lose track of hours, or find that a week passes in a blink. This is because 5D operates on spherical time. Everything is happening in the eternal now. 3. The mourning of the self. This is the most dangerous symptom. You may feel a deep, inexplicable grief. You aren't depressed. You're grieving the death of your ego identity. The person you were in the 3D world, your titles, your masked personality, your defense mechanisms, is dying. Let them die. 4. The Mandela effect acceleration. You remember events, logos, or deaths differently than the quote official record. In 2026, these are becoming more frequent. This is not poor memory. It is the result of timeline jumping. As you oscillate between frequencies, you're literally witnessing the fluidity of the past. A warning is necessary. As we discuss the new Earth, there is a seduction to disconnect completely, to float away into a cloud of love and light, and ignore the suffering of the world. This is a trap. The cosmic split is not an escape hatch. It is not about leaving the Earth. It is about bringing the frequency of the soul down into the body. If you use the concept of 5D to ignore your bills, neglect your health, or bypass your emotional wounds, you're not ascending, you're dissociating. The masters of this new timeline are the ones who can stand in the middle of a 3D crisis, hold their 5D frequency, and act with clarity and compassion. We're not here to flee the burning building. We're here to be the firemen who walk through the flames without getting burned. The question remains, how do you ensure you are on the ascending arc of the split? The universe does not select you. You select yourself, moment by moment, through the mechanism of attention. Your attention is the currency of the universe. If you spend 8 hours a day consuming 3D fear programming, doom scrolling, argument seeking, polarization, you're biologically anchoring yourself to that timeline. The fix. Ruthlessly curate your reality. If a source lowers your vibration, cut the cord. When a trigger happens, a rude comment, a scary headline, you have a 3-second window before your biochemistry reacts. In that window, you have a choice. Do I engage with the old script of defense and anger? Or do I choose the new script of observation and neutrality? The fix. Choose neutrality. That is an interesting perspective, but it is not my reality. The era of the lone wolf is ending. The new timeline is built on resonance. You need to be around people who reflect your sanity back to you. Even if it is just one person or an online community, find the others. They are the anchors that keep you from drifting back into the static. We are currently navigating the roughest waters of the transition. The old world will continue to get louder, crazier, and more desperate. It has to. A dying system always thrashes before it goes silent. Do not be distracted by the noise. Do not let the fear of the 3D world lower your gaze. You chose to be here. Of all the times in history you could have incarnated, you chose the time of the Great Split. You chose the time when the script gets rewritten. You are the lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run into the storm to save the ships. It stands firm on the rock and shines. It stays consistent. If you feel crazy, if you feel tired, if you feel alone, remember this. You're the immune system of the planet. You're the antibody against fear. The split is here. The timelines are diverging. And every single morning when you open your eyes, you get to decide, which Earth will I build today?